Hello Shenanigamers, and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. Bloody Stun Day is apparently the name of the team we took in with us last time. And we took them into the cove. Get some clearing out done. Now we could get another caregivers convention and a protective collar for the Houndsmaster if we go to the Weald here. But this time around, I'm thinking we go to the ruins. It's been a while since we've been there, and this long mission here is a veteran one, but we can get some crests, a full stack of them, so 12. It's just an exploration, so we don't have to go through every room battle. We can navigate our way around there a bit easier. We get a nice sum of gold, 11,250, and we can get the focus ring, plus 10 accuracy, plus 5% crit, minus 8 dodge. So on characters that don't dodge a lot in the first place, like Alpha or Alpha or Villa or Reynold even, who have only a small amount of dodge as compared to people like Dismas or certainly Zombie, or most notably any of our jesters like Shabam or Pace, that could be a really good trinket to have. And anyone who has evasive, they can kind of reduce how much that affects them. But yes, I think that's the mission we're going to go on here. And since it is a mission in the ruins, I think this is an ample opportunity to bring the usual suspects, Reynold, Dismas, Ditton, and Ide with us. Now, we don't have all of their skills set up, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. Oh, that's the wrong place. There we go. Alright, we're going to make sure that we give Reynold the Zealous Vigil, so that we don't have to worry about any nighttime ambushes. Dismas also has something for nighttime ambushes, but instead, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we take the Unparalleled Finesse. Ditton can do some healing, and healing is indeed great. So we're going to make sure that we give Ditton leeches, just in case disease decides to strike us. And then we have Chant and Pray with Ide, as well as Pep Talk. We could get Sanctuary, but instead I think we're going to take Bless. So Ide will be there for good buffs, Ditton will be there for heals, which is oddly switched around, you would think. Dismas is there for buffing themselves, so they can give themselves some benefits there. And then Reynold can buff themselves and the party and the companions and such, but they can also make sure that no ambushes show up at nighttime, which will be good. Now, we also want to make sure that we go in fully equipped. So Reynold, Dismas, Ditton, and Ide are all getting weapon upgrades. Or at the very least, most of them are. See, that's about all we can afford in terms of weapon upgrades. In terms of skill upgrades, we can't afford much more than that either. But we are going to up the Bulwark of Faith and the Smite on Reynold. And Ide is going to get their Divine Grace and Divine Comfort increased. Everyone else will have to deal with it for right now. That's most of our money gone. Now, just to double check what we've got here, we're going to sort our trinkets by rarity after unequipping all of them again, and we'll see what we can do without here. We don't really use the bleed charms, so we can get rid of both of those, and the bleed stones don't get used either. We'll also get rid of this debuff charm, which we don't use. We haven't really had much use for the unmovable helmet as of late, but we'll keep it for now. We have 2 evasion incenses, and we're going to sell off one of them, as well as 1 eldritch killing essence. see, what else can we do here? We don't need 2 haste chalices. And 2 moon cloaks seems like it might be a bit much, but we're going to hold on to it for now. We don't need 2 hell's hairpins, I don't think. Okay, there we go. That gets us back up to 14,215 gold. That should do for now. Make sure we've sorted by rarity, and we'll head into the embark screen once again. Sending the usual suspects into the ruins on a long veteran mapping mission. So, let's make sure everyone's equipped with their skills properly, which they are, of course. And now we can also make sure that they all have their appropriate trinkets. So, for Reynold, the Crusader, we want to make sure that they have what they need. Reynold isn't a healer. They can stun, they have Zealous Accusation, they have Smite, and they have Bulwark of Faith, but they are not a healer. So, we need them to have good damage and good tanking. So, we can give Reynold the Crusader, the Swordsman's Crest for extra melee damage. We could give them the Paralyzer's Crest for the extra stun chance at the cost of 2 dodge. But instead, I think we're going to go ahead and give them Barristan's Head. And that will up their protection, but will also up the amount of stress that they take. And if we keep the torch high because of Warrior of Light, they'll do even more damage. So, that will be very helpful there, especially if we come across any undead, which Smite will do a massive amount of damage against. Now, Dismas is obviously more ranged-based. They have Tracking Shot, Grape Shot Blast, Pistol Shot, and Open Vein. Open Vein isn't going to do too much good for us unless we come across human enemies, but we can at least get something out of this. So, we're going to go ahead and figure out what all to take here. They have a lot of range skills, which is good if we can get them to hit. So, let's see what we can give them. We could give Dismas's head, but I don't think that's what we want to do. At least not right now, anyway. So, instead, we're going to go ahead and give them the Book of Constitution to up their Blight and Disease resistance at the cost of 1 speed. Their quirk of Quick Reflexes gives them +2, so that will put them down to 7, so they're still up by 1. And on top of that, we could up their dodge more with the Slippery Boots, which I think would be okay. We could also give them the Book of Intuition, and I think we're going to do that. Let's see, what are your disease... Okay, your disease resist is at 30, and your blight resist is at 60. You know what? We're going to swap out the Book of Constitution, and in its place, we're going to give you the Slippery Boots. That'll drop your move resist down to 40%, which is not exactly great, but the dodge of 29 is. And depending on the light level, that'll get even better. Now, Ditton. Let's make sure we have these sorted by rarity again. Being a ruins explorer, that means that our chance to explore in the ruins, or to scout in the ruins, is upped, which is great. So we want Ditton to have better skills here. Now, Ditton has Disorienting Blast, Emboldening Vapors, Noxious Blast, and Plague Grenade. Very decent set of skills. I would like Battlefield Medicine though, because that instantly cures a blight and bleed. I don't think we're going to come into that too often in here, but it could still be useful. The extra damage and speed from Emboldening Vapors is also useful, but I think Battlefield Medicine might prove more beneficial. So we want to make sure that we can get that. Now, Disorienting Blast is good if we want to shuffle the party around and stun. Plague Grenade is good to hit in the back, Noxious Blast is good to hit in the front. So I think Emboldening Vapors, great for the damage though it may be, may be what we have to replace. So we're going to go to the guild and unlock that skill for Ditton. Get Battlefield Medicine, and we'll upgrade it twice. And if we upgrade it 3 times, we can get 2 to 3 health back from it. But we don't need that right now. Of all the things that we could possibly need, that just isn't it. Now, back onto the embarking screen. We're still on the correct mission there. Now, with that set up, and that swapped about, we can now use Ditton a bit more universally. So we could up their disease resist by 40%. Their disease resist is already 50% at base, so I don't think this time around we want to go with that. We do want to go with the poison herb that will drop their max hit points by 15%, but the blight skill chance being at plus 40 with Noxious Blast and Plague Grenade will be a great benefit. Now, on top of that, we also want to give them something to up their healing if we can. So, we are also going to give them the Chirurgeon's Charm to up the healing skills by 15%. That should at least get us to a 3 almost all the time. And that will be very good for us. Now, that only leaves us with Ide. Ide has a lot going for them. Irrepressible, so they have higher virtue chance. Lurker, so if the torch is low, they deal more damage. Robust, so they got some extra disease resist. Spiritual, so their healing will heal themselves for a lot more. And they're tough, so their max hit points are up by 10%. Ide has a lot going for them. Now, we could drop their health by about 5% with the Tome of Holy Healing. That brings them from 34 to 33. That's not bad for the 25% healing skill that we get out of it. Now, we could also give them an extra 25% healing on their skills, and an extra 25% to stress skills at the cost of an extra 10% stress, which I'm honestly kind of tempted to do. Sorry about that. There we go. Tempted to do that. We could also give them an extra 20% stress, but give them an extra 30% of their healing skills, but that wouldn't affect their stress skills. And their stress skills would really only be for camping, because Hand of Light, Dazzling Light, Divine Grace, and Divine Comfort do not affect any sort of stress amongst those in the party. Now, Hand of Light could give us a buff. We could also go with Illumination, and I think Illumination might actually be the play here. Because with Illumination, then things get opened up a bit. And we might actually want to switch Ide and Ditton around in this party order. That would change them to the Red Hook. But we're going to take them in as the usual suspects instead. Because Illumination is good at getting rid of things like stealth, and ups the torch while that is there as well. Now, having no way to really get rid of stealth except for the tracking shot is a bit of a danger. But it is still a way to get around it, and usually only 1 to 2 enemies are stealth, so if we can take 1 out of it, we should be fine without needing things like Illumination. So, with that in mind, we can focus more on healing with Ide. Now, we could up the virtue chance even higher and drop the HP, or the hit point max, even lower if we gave them the Virtuous Chalice. We could also give them the Haste Chalice, which drops their stun skill chance, but also gives them a little bit more speed, which could be helpful, but I don't think it's what we need at the moment. So instead, let's see what we can do. We want to make sure that their healing is as effective as it can be. Junia's Head would get us 55% healing, but would also get us 20% extra stress. Ancestor Scroll would get us up to 50% healing, which is only 5% less than what it would get in combination with Tome of Holy Healing and the Junia's Head. Yeah, Tome of Holy Healing and Junia's Head would get us 55%. The Ancestor Scroll gives us better stress healing and standard healing at half the stress of Junia's Head. So I think the Ancestor Scroll is what we get here. So then, this is going to be our team, our party. going into this. We have 2 campfires, so we're going to make sure we take as much food as we can. We're going to take 2.5 stacks of this stuff because this is a veteran long mission. We don't want to take chances. We'll take a full stack of shovels, full stack of anti-venoms. We'll take 4 anti-venoms, just 1 for each of them. Full stack of bandages, 3 keys, full stack of holy water, full stack of laudanum, full stack of medicinal herbs, 2 full stacks of torches, because we have Reynold and Ide to help buff the torchlight. This is going to drain us of a lot of funds, but if we can get this done, that'll be a very long mission with a 35% scouting chance done with these 4, and that should hopefully put some of them, if not all of them, up in experience. Hopefully to level 4. If anyone's going to get there, it's going to be Ditton, seeing as Ditton has 1 point of experience more than anyone else in this team. But let's go ahead and embark. Ruins. Each region has its own challenges. Assemble your party and supplies accordingly. Thankfully, we have done just that, and hopefully what we have done is enough to keep them all around.
Pace out the halls of your lineage once familiar, now foreign.
Alright. So we start this off with a scout. Alright, so let's see how many rooms we're dealing with. Looks like about 19 rooms in total, counting the one we're in. So 4 here, 8. Yeah, 4, 4, 3, 4, and then 3. No, 4, then 2, then 1. So 1, 3, 7, 10, 14, 18. 18 rooms in total. Well, let's get out of this one and start exploring. We have to explore 90% of rooms, so we can skip at least 2 of these. We might skip these 2 down here, but we'll see what happens. A stack of books. We know if we burn them, something happens. A boon at last. Alright, that could have been far worse than it was. Alright, so in this room we get another scout. So we have a room battle with a treasure and a curio this way, an obstacle and a room battle with a curio this way, and a curio, a hallway battle, and an empty room this way. So we're going to head this way first, just so that we can go down this pathway here and follow that to the end. The bookshelf. I haven't used anything that worked on it yet, so let's find out. Key doesn't work, herbs don't work, anti-venom doesn't work, shovel doesn't work, bandages don't work, so there's nothing to do with the bookshelf. Another old journal entry. And busts, alright. Okay, so we're gonna bring the torchlight back up, head in there, and see what we have to face. Alright, we've got 2 bone marksmen. Yeah, we have a bone marksman, 2 of them, and then we have a bone commander. Let's see what we can do then. Let's go with a pistol shot first. Get some damage going on the marksmen, since they can be a bit of a pain. Go for the dazzling light on this one. Could go for the stunning blow on the bone commander, but instead I think we want to go for the smite. Or the bulwark of faith. Yeah, let's go for the bulwark of faith. We want more protection. That gets us up to 53% protection. That should help a lot. And then we can go for a disorienting blast on the bone commander. Hopefully get them shuffled back, or stunned. Neither of which happened, but it was still worth a shot. Oral crit for 14 on Dismas, which is not fun for us. Crushing blow with a crit for 11 on Reynold, and a debuff There's lower stun resist. Not great, but oh well. We'll deal with it. Now a Noxious Blast here on the Flame Commander. Double Light takes and drops their accuracy as well. So that's good. Now we could hit all 3 of the first positions here. Wouldn't do much damage to anyone, but we could potentially debuff. Instead of that, I think we're going to go for another pistol shot, which crits and kills that one at the back. Quarrel on Ide is not great. I'm going to go with Divine Comfort here. Another Crushing Blow. And he does 4. That's fine. You can take 4 damage pretty well. So then, let's go ahead and go for a Stunning Blow. 7 damage, and we get the stun. Very nice. Now we don't have to worry about a Crushing Blow this time around. Go for a pistol shot here, another crit for 19. See that coming. Admittedly, I didn't. A lot of crits going on there, which is fine. Just didn't expect it. So let's go ahead and heal up Reynold a little bit. And then we'll heal up Dismas quite a bit. Reynold's the only one who's a little low. And with that stun there, we're fine. So we can go ahead and smite here for a nice amount of damage. And then we'll go with the pistol shot here. Some more nice damage. Again, we'll go for the Battlefield Medicine. We'll go for the Divine Grace. And now, the Blight will take care of it.
Perhaps the turning point.
We'll take what we can from this. Could take the Emerald and hope that there's more along the way, but instead we're just going to take the gold. Now we use the key on this heirloom chest here. We find a torch, which we can take, and some food, which we can take, and some coin, which we can take some of. Right. And from coming to this room, we don't get a scout, but that's fine. Now we can head up this way. Go. This is nice. An altar of light. So if we use holy water here, I think that might do something. It does. Alright, so we have plus 30% damage until camp with Reynold. That's excellent. The torch light up as we go in. There's nothing here. Okay. So, that's a safe pathway. We know that now. So now we can head back into the room we just came from. After we get through this hallway. And we should be able to just go straight down from there and find out what's down there. So we've got an obstacle here.
Even the cold stone seems
Thankfully,
bent
we've got
on
a shovel
preventing
for it.
passage.
Alright, here we go. A cultist gladiator and a slayering ghoul. Now we can go ahead and open vein on the gladiator. With a crit for 19, that's a heck of an injury. The bleed will take care of them. We no longer have to worry about them. That's perfect. So let's try and stun the ghoul if we can. No stun there. We can try again. And we're actually going to go for the Noxious Blast.
Precision and
Nice
power.
crit. I'll go for a stun here this way. That gets the light back up a little bit more. Rend. Does quite a bit of damage. Resist the debuff and the bleed on it.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Alright. So, now. We can actually use open vein here, so we might as well. We'll keep stacking on as many damage over time effects as we can possibly get on there. And then go for the stun again. Don't get it, but the light's back up to radiant. And the Ren is actually dodged this time. Very nice. Very nice. Let's go for the smite and finish this.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Alright. So far, so good. We're actually going to swap the gold out here for the deeds because we need more of those. onward. Bring the torch light back up. And then as we go into this room, we don't get a scout. There's no enemies here. So we'll keep going down. Or south, or whatever it may be. Check this curio. Take what we can. And then move on. Into this room. We have a room battle. No surprise. And we've got Cultist Enchantress, Cultist Gladiator, a Bone Conscript, and a Bone Noble.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Alright, so let's get some stuns going first if we can. First on the Enchantress. Okay, that's one. Good to go. Now let's go with the pistol shot on this Bone Rabble. And then we can go for... We could go for the Zealous Accusation, but instead I think we're going to go for the Smite on the Bone Conscript. Because if it hits, they're done.
Destroy.
There they go. One enemy we don't have to worry about now. Good dodge there from Reynold. And then let's go for the Disorienting Blast on this Bone Noble. So they dodged, unfortunately. Then another Tempting Goblet. Another good dodge, Reynold. Very good. Glad to see that one. Let's go for another Disorienting Blast here. We keep dodging that. Not a fan of it. Friend for the Old Gods. Again, dodges everywhere. Alright. Everyone is dodging this time around. Alright, well, let's just try to stun the Gladiator now. There we go. And the light's back up to radiant now. Okay, so before anything else happens, let's get Bulwark of Faith up. We're already marked. We've just upped our protection now.
Star is born.
Now, there we go. Third time we got it. Stun and brought them forward and cleared the corpse. Now just pull on hide.
Ringing ears.
3, but pull is resisted.
The end approaches.
So let's go with an open vein on this Gladiator and just kill them outright.
Destroy.
Stun didn't really matter there. So let's go for the stun on the Enchantress then. With the crit, that'll get it. And now a smite on the Bone Noble.
Obliterated.
Takes them down. And then we'll open vein on the Enchantress. With another crit, they're just gone. A lot of crits and a lot of dodges.
Victories mount, so too will resistance.
So we get a scout here. And a rather sizable one at that. So, there's 2 empty rooms this way. There's a trap in this corridor here. A curio in a trap here, a curio here. So this is the way we're going to end up going. Now, we have no 100% trap disarming chance. But Dismas has 90%, so that's going to be good enough for now. First time we get hunger there. That's fine. And of course there's no one in this room, so now we head down to this one. There's an unburned torch, which we can just outright use that.
Often low on supplies.
No scout from this room either. And that's fine. Bring the torchlight back up just a bit. Back into this room. Then we head up to the room battle with the Curio. Curio before that. Empty. And then there is a trap, which we now have disarmed. So we can bring the torchlight back up again. And then into this room we go. Torch up. Pretty much the same as last time, just in a different order. We've still got the Noble, the Conscript, the Enchantress, and the Gladiator. So let's go ahead and use the Bulwark of Faith here.
The way
Torchlight
is lit. The path is clear.
Maxed out.
We require only the strength to follow it.
Let's actually go for the Plague Grenade here. blight on both of them. That means damage over time, which means we have to give them less. Good dodge, Reynold. Yeah, Reynold is probably going to be afflicted very quickly here. So let's go for an open vein on the Gladiator. Nice amount of damage. He's going. Debuff is there. A rend for the old gods. Again, a good dodge. Bump in the Knight. Dodge Dismas. And then we're going to go with the Dazzling Light on the Bone Noble, trying to stun them, which we do, because they deal a lot of stress. And now we can go for the Pistol Shot on the Enchantress. Not enough to kill, but the light will. There it goes.
Is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Noble. Stun. Still take the damage anyway. Now, if we just hit them with this... Alright, they're in a point where the Blight will take them next. So we don't have to worry about them now. Now, let's get a stun on the Gladiator if we can. There we go. Take more damage from the bleed there. Now, the next time they go, they're done too. Bump in the Knight from the Conscript. 1 point of damage. We'll resist whatever debuff that was going to be. And we'll go for Smite here.
Annihilated.
Perfect. Everything is playing out the way it should be. At least the way we want it to.
Death
Medicine
by
on
inches.
Reynold. And Divine Grace on Reynold. And then we'll go for the open vein here.
As the fiend falls, a faint
Take what we
hope
can.
blossoms.
See what we can take. Here, Incarnate Fountain. Holy Purport. Holy Water. Divine Benefit. Heals up and loses some stress. Great. Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. Gone through 8 rooms now. There's only 10 left. We know this one is empty, so let's go here. Let's try after we clear out these guys. 2 Gladiators, Enchantress. We can deal with that. Good dodge there, the Eldritch Push. Sent Dismas to the back. Reynold is dodging up a storm right now. You can send Dismas back up to their original spot, though. Let's go for a stunning blow here on this Gladiator. Decent amount of damage, even if we didn't get it. So let's try it again. Crit for 4.
The light,
Stun.
the promise of safety.
And then we can actually try and go for the Disorienting Blast on the Enchantress. Stuns her, brings her up front. She's within a good range to be hit with many of the attacks that we have now. So we're going to do just that. Open Vein. Takes down half of her life and gets a damage over time effect going. Run for the old gods there. Stun on that Gladiator. And then we can get the Noxious Blast going here. The Blight takes. She's done. There she
The
goes.
slow death.
No longer a
Unforeseen.
problem.
Unforgiving.
Now we go for a stun on this Gladiator if we can. Got it. And then a smite on this one.
Confidence surges
And that takes
as
them
the
down.
enemy crumbles.
And now we can go for the Battlefield Medicine on Dismas just to heal them up. Crit heal for 6. Open Vein here. A lot of damage. Bleed starts there. And the bleed will take care of them. We don't have to worry about them now. We're going to anyway. Crit for 4, they're gone.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Again, we take what we can and move on. Can't take any gold right now. So now we bring the torchlight back
As
up
the
and enter
light
into
gains
this room.
purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
There is a room battle here. Let's go with the Plague Grenade on those marksmen in the back. I'll deal some decent damage. Good dodge on the quarrel there. And then let's go for a stun and the damage on this marksman. And then I suppose we can go for the pistol shot on this one, which does a nice amount of damage. And the blight kicks in. Coral on Ditton. Not the greatest, but it's alright. And then we'll go for the Bulwark of Faith here. Protection at 53%. And the Ground Pound. Everyone resists the stun. Love seeing that. Another Plague Grenade back here. So that's enough that the Blight will take care of them on their next turn. And this one is going to die anyway, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, we can go ahead and use Tracking Shot here. Give Dismas a buff.
A brilliant confluence
Go
of
with the
skill and purpose.
Dazzling Light here. We get the stun, which is nice. Don't have to worry about that damage. And there it goes. And now we can go for the Smite, which does a nice chunk of their health and damage. Let's set up the Noxious Blast here. Set the Blight going. Go with a Pistol Shot. Some more damage. We'll go with the Divine Grace on Ditton.
A
Healing them
momentary
back up.
abatement.
That one fades away due to the Blight, taking them out. Ground Pound here. Ditton gets the stun on them. Reynolds goes for the Smite and
The
takes them
bigger
down.
the beast,
No need to
the
worry.
greater the glory.
Take what we can. We can actually... Oh no, this is unlocked.
Finding the
Again, take
stuff
what
is
we
only
can,
the
which
first
is
test.
nothing. That's
How
fine.
it must be carried
Then we
home.
get a Scout. So there's a room battle over this way, a hallway battle, and an empty room this way. We'll go with the hallway battle. So now we have a Bone Veteran who is stealth. We have a Bone Spearman, 21 health, no protection, 9 dodge, 4 speed, 220% bleed resist, as we would expect, or bleed resistance, as we would expect, 45% stun and move resistance, and 30% blight resistance, and 35% debuff resistance, and then a Bone Noble. You can go with the Grape Shot Blast and hit all 3 with no problem, so long as it makes contact, which it does, and we get the debuff on all of them, so now they have a higher chance of receiving crits. So let's go ahead and use Disorienting Blast on the Spearmen here. We don't want to know what they can do. We get the stun, they're at the back, that's fine. Now, let's go with the Smite on the Noble. Crit for
Decimated.
46. Lot of damage there. And then we'll go with words. We'll go with Divine Comfort here, what I meant to say. Stun goes up there. Graveyard Slash. On Dismas from that one. It's alright though. We're dealing. Disorienting Blast is only going to do so much, so let's hit them with the Noxious Vapors. Or Noxious Blast, rather. We'll set them up with a Blight for 6. Then we can use Divine Grace on Dismas. Back up to somewhere close to full. Dismas can go ahead and use... yeah, we'll use Grape Shot Blast again. Still hits them while they're in stealth. This one, Hail, ow. Graveyard Slash on Dismas again. Ouch. Go for the Smite on this Bone Veteran. And then we can use Battlefield Medicine, Dismas. The Blight will take care of the Spearmen, and we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Can't take any coin with us right now. Torchlight back up. Head into this room, which is thankfully empty. So we get a Scout here. Okay, so there's 2 empty rooms there, another empty room here, a room battle with treasure here, and a room battle with a curio there. Now, no matter which way we go, eventually we're going to have to fight a hallway battle, which is fine. So let's go ahead and make it on our turns. We're going to head back this way, set up camp, and then head into the room over here with the curio. after the room battle.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
First things first, we're gonna get some stress away from Reynold with Zealous Vigil, and set up the protection against the nighttime ambush. Beyond that, then we can use the Prey here from Ide to give everyone a little bit of protection, and even more so to Reynold, because now that means they'll be at 68% protection once they use Bulwark of Faith. And then now we can use Bless on them as well in theory. But first, let's just go ahead and see what other skills we want to use here. Everyone's at full health, so we don't need any healing skills. We could use Clean Gun with Dismas, or Unparalleled Finesse. Dismas has mainly ranged skills, so I think Clean Gun wouldn't be a bad idea. And then we have no skills that require only one rest point, so respite, so we're just going to rest. Alright. So all that is done. Move on. Check out what this curio is. Reynold, check it out, I guess. Oh, he can use the blue water. Relieves the hero. Yep. Okay. No more stress. A bit worried for a bit there. But we're alright. Go ahead and use the torch here. Armor back there. Now we did lose our 30% damage increase because we made camp. That's alright. We have Outlaw Bloodletter, an Outlaw Cutthroat, and an Outlaw Fusilier. I'm going to actually use the tracking shot on the Fusilier to get rid of that stealth. Fire, full team dodge, beautiful. Rain of Whips, nobody dodged that. Two people got bleed going on them for it. Now, though, we can try to stun this Bloodletter, which works. And then the Cutthroat makes the bleed on Ditton a bit worse. I'm gonna go ahead and use a bandage here, and then Bulwark of Faith to up the protection. So it's at 68%. That's a good amount of protection right there. Okay, so now we can go with Disorienting Blast. Fusilier back here, try to bring them to the front so they're an easier target to hit, which works, thankfully. So we're good there. Let's go with the Open Vein here.
Well struck.
Crit for 22, just takes them down. Straight up, flat out. Go with the Dazzling Light on the Cutthroat if you can. Don't get the stun, unfortunately. That's alright. We can use a Disorienting Blast there and do it. If it worked, but it didn't. It's okay though. Slice and dice. Dodge from both Reynold and Dismas, thankfully. And then Reynold can use the Smite or Stun Blow or Zealous Accusation. We can go with Smite, the most damage that we can deal. And then we'll go with an Open Vein as well. A crit for 22, bleed for 3, which means the Bloodletter is gone once it rolls around to their turn. Now we should have been using Battlefield Medicine on Ditton here. That's a mistake. That should have been corrected.
Sedated.
And then Shank Reynold, bleed. Let's go ahead and Divine Grace Ditton here.
Their cursed champion falls.
Down they go. And then we go with Smite here. They dodge. Now let's go with Battlefield Medicine here. Reynold to heal them up a bit, get rid of that bleed. Now they're fine. Open Vein here on the Cutthroat. Crit for 16 to take them out. Take what we can and move on.
This expedition at least promises success.
Reynold, Suit Armor, which gives us plus 10 dodge and plus 15% protection until camp. That's pretty good. Now we still have some extra protection already because of the camp skill. Now, with all of that put into play, if we put on Bulwark of Faith as well, currently we have 55% protection, and with Bulwark of Faith adding an extra 28, that could bring us up to 83. Yes, 83. Which would not be a bad thing. We're going to go up this way, deal with this hallway battle, whatever it is. We'll use the shovel there to get through that obstacle, deal with this hallway battle, and then we'll loop around. So it's a cultist gladiator and a slavering ghoul. Well, the ghoul has a lot of protection, but their bleed and blight resist are still fairly low. So we can do something about this. Let's go with the cultist gladiator first. With a crit for 19, they're done. The bleed will take them. Now we can go for the noxious blast on the slavering ghoul. And then we could go for a stunning blow on them as well, which I think we're going to do. The crit for 9, and we get the stun. And then we'll go for Divine Comfort here, take advantage of that situation to heal everybody up. Everybody is at full health now. Alright, so now we can use Open Vein here. Some more damage, get some more damage over time. Another Noxious Blast, more damage over time. They're taking 15 damage per round, that's fine. Rend, ow, hurts quite a bit, and causes a bleed, not great. For Divine Grace, heal that up fully and completely, and then the Smite will kill if it hits.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Alright. We can't take any of this stuff here now. But we can move on to the next room, which is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use this torch too. No scout there, that's fine. Not really much to scout. Now we can loop around. Check what's in this pack.
Wealth beyond
Take what
measure.
we can.
Awarded to the brave
And then have
the
Reynold deal with
foolhardy
this trap.
alike.
Which they do. Again, using torch. No room battle here, as we know. Now, this room here is undefined, so then that's where we're going to go. Trap we couldn't see, so we couldn't
Ambushed
avoid.
by foul invention.
And then there's a room battle here. And we get the surprise. So we have 1 Bone Marksman, 2 Bone Conscripts, and 1 Bone Noble. Let's try to stun the Marksman.
The ground
crit for 4.
quakes.
That'll do it there. Now we can go for the Smite on one of these Conscripts. We could also go for the Zealous Accusation, which I think is what we're going to do. We don't quite kill any of them, but we get pretty close. And then let's go for the Plague Grenade. The Blight's going back there. And then we could Pistol Shot here, potentially take out the Bone Noble. But I like the idea of the Grave Shot Blast, but we can go with the Blast next time.
A singular strike.
Crit for 23, the Noble's down. Don't have to worry about the stress. We don't have to worry about the Marksman either, because they were stunned, so it's just a bump in the night, which we dodge the first. The second only does 1 damage. We resist the debuff that comes with it. Excellent. Let's go with the Plague Grenade again. I will leave them with just enough health that the Blight will take them down. And now the Grape Shot Blast will take down the first and the second, so we're good there.
A trifling
Take
victory.
the
But a
food there.
victory
Take
nonetheless.
what coin we can. Use a key. Open the sarcophagus. Take what we can. Leave the rest. We'll head over to this room battle with treasure. And we'll see what we can do here. Mechanism is trapped, but we resist the bleeding effect that would have come out of it. It's fine. And let's Torchlight again. And head into this room. We have a gargoyle in here. Lash of the tail isn't great, especially because of that stun. And an Eldritch Pull. Everyone's just messing with Ditton this time around. So let's go ahead and try to stun the Gladiator. Dodge, unfortunately. Though Reynold dodges the Renfield Gods. So then let's go for a Grape Shot Blast. Hit as many targets as we can, increase their chance of taking crits. Not dodge that one. And they got the bleed, unfortunately. Alright, well then, let's go for Zealous Accusation. A lot of damage done there. Stressful Incantation. Very stressful, not great, not really a fan. Flurry of Claws, good dodge, both of you. So let's go ahead and move Ditton back one. We'll go with the Dazzling Light and the Gargoyle. So they resist the stun too. We'll go for a Grape Shot Blast. Gargoyle dodges, but we do take down one of these gladiators. We dodge the other one, which is fine. Go for a Zealous Accusation then. Take out the corpse, one gladiator, and turn the other gladiator into a corpse. Lash of the tail on Ide is not great, especially when they stun like that. It's fine, whatever. Go with another Grape Shot Blast here. Crit corpse goes away. Debuff chances still up on these. So let's go for the Noxious Blast on this one, which dodges. Eldritch Push, good dodge. Let's go for the Zealous Accusation then. Gargoyle is down. Now we just have to deal with the Enchantress. They're at 1 health. We can do this. Let's go for the Divine Grace on Dismas. And then the Noxious Blast on the Enchantress. And we're fine. Take what we can.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates
Set the party's order back to
fall.
normal. Try and just check what's in this chest. It's trapped. We resist the trap though. And then we move through this way. We're not going through there. We're not doing that. We're not facing the Shambler this time around. We did it last time. We're not doing it this time. We can do the pistol shot here. A good amount of damage. Stressful Incantation. Of course, applies some stress and marks, which is not great for us. A good dodge by Dismas there. Let's go with the Plague Grenade here. Just get the effect going. Go for the Dazzling Lights, just to make sure that they die next time and all. And we'll go for the Smite here, take out the Bone Conscript. Another good dodge. Enchantress is gone. Now we can just focus on the Gladiator. Open Vein first. And go for the Dazzling Light. Which misses. And go for the Noxious Blast. Which hits with a crit for 3. Right, so they're doomed now. And then we can just smite and finish the job. There we go.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
So now we will go on to this room. And now the quest is counted as completed, but we're going to double back just a bit. Just to head into this room. The secret room. And now we can go ahead and sniff out the torchlight.
Haunting the hearts
key.
of men.
We have some coin in here, which we don't need. We have 3 puzzling trapezohedrons. We'll swap those out for the jades and for these torches. We'll actually swap the torches or the jades out for the laudanum. And Swap the coin out for the antivenoms. So yeah, we prepared a lot more than we needed to for this. And then we'll go ahead and use the firewood since we're here, because why not?
Huddled together, furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a maze.
And we use self-medicate here. And then we will have Reynold using courage. And we use pray. So now everyone has no problems, no health missing, no stress, and no ailments. Completely out of respite points, but well spent, well deserved. We're good.
The
Let's
great
head back.
ruins belong to us, and we will find whatever secrets they hold.
The old suspects did very well there. Alright, and we got some decent money from that as well. I think we made back, if not made more than we had when we started this quest in terms of coin. We got 12 busts, 12 crests, 6 deeds out of this. No one quite made it to level 4, but that's okay. Reynold got gifted, plus 20% healing received. That's fantastic for Reynold. Dismas got Armor Tinker to replace Hard Noggin, and Rabies. Gonna get rid of the Rabies. Gonna have to get rid of it. Didn't get anything, and I got Ashen again, which we're gonna have to get rid of.
A fresh irritant to some. A sanguine memory to me.
Alright, so Sanitarium. Going to get rid of Ashen, because that's annoying. And we'll get rid of Rabies, because we should, and pretty much have to. Crimson Figure has Bulimic, so we can take care of that. Down here, there we go. Bulimic is taken care of now. And no one else has any other diseases that we know of. So, here in the Nomad Wagon, we have the Accuracy Stone, the Stun Charm, the Evasion Essence, and the Calming Crystal. Minus 15% stress, minus 1 speed. That's not too bad. And then in the Stagecoach, we have one level 1 Apprentice Houndmaster. And then we have 2 Plague Doctors, an Abomination, a Leper, a Grave Robber, and an Occultist at Secret level. Well, either way, we now have enough deeds and crests that we can actually upgrade none of these still. We still need more deeds, but we're getting close. We have enough crest for it. And in the guild itself, we almost have... Well, we're still not very close. Okay. Well, we definitely have enough portraits for Instructor Mastery. Part of me just wishes you could deposit, like, if you have one of these, but not all of them, you can deposit what you have done, at least. Now, let's go ahead and unequip and sort by rarity all the trinkets we have. And that is going to be it for this episode of Darkest Dungeon. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already if you want to see more content like this, or the other kinds of content we put out on the channel. We're going to keep that content coming, so don't you worry about that. Remember to hit the notification bell so that you receive notifications whenever we post new videos on the channel. Leave a comment on the video, it helps us out a lot, it really, really does. Also, remember to leave a comment if you want to have one of the heroes on this roster named after you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!